You eat cotton candy all day.
And apparently really cold.
It's a perfect metaphor for showbiz. And try to pretend it's summer in a t-shirt when it's like 20 degrees out.
We heard that it was very painful in October in Pittsburgh.
It was.
And you're taking Greg out?
Yeah.
Bye, Greg.
Bye.
Weird.
Segue. What are you doing here?
People just wandering in and out. Well, normally we shoot just straight half an hour and don't cut to anything.
Oh, really?
And that's our normal thing, but this is
intense.
A junket. So we're rolling people in and out as best we can. Well, you know what it is you actually end up having a conversation at some point.
Right.
Instead of just saying, did you like working with Greg?
Right.
Isn't Greg a nice guy?
Right.
Hi.
Hi.
And it's surreal talking about all this stuff on inauguration morning.
Yeah, it's
Right.
weird.
It's such an intense morning, and yet we're talking show business.
Yeah.
And sex. So, Jesse, when are you going to make a movie where you're not trying to get played?
I didn't talk about
For the first time? Well, no, but you seem to, it seems like, for some reason they hooked in early onto you, that you're the virgin on the make.
Oh, okay.
It seems to be a recurring theme in your work. I'm not sure what they see in you that's doing that.
I'm pretty sure what they see.
What is it?
Oh, I probably look like I wouldn't have sex.
But, see, I don't think that's true at all.
Should we put these mics on?
No, you can just leave them
Oh,
there.
good. That's cool.
We have a small room that works in.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do you feel like you've been typed at all? Do you feel like you're pushing for other stuff? Or you're always playing smart guys, but they're always seem to be...
Yeah. I'm actually, doing a movie in May of another virgin, and he's 25. So as I get older and the character's still virgins, the excuses have to become more convoluted for why that's happening.
It's surreal. And what was it that compelled you about this particular script? How did the script come to you guys?
They said there's a story about a virgin.
I'm sorry I ruined your life by bringing that up.
Oh, no. They sent me the script. What was the question? Just how did it?
Yeah, how did it come to you?
Via my agency. There was a unique situation. It's not that unique, but they told me, you set up a meeting with Greg, and I said I would love to meet him, but I hadn't read the script yet, which I've never done because I normally don't like that many scripts, so I don't want to meet the person. But anyway, I sat down the day before I had to meet with him, and I read through the script, and it took me 3 hours because it was very long and detailed, and I'm a slow reader, and it was so wonderful, and I was so happy that I would get to meet him the next day and get salad.
And you were basically offered the movie on that? You didn't have to audition or anything?
I didn't have to audition, which was strange because, this was the role is such an amazing role. When I met him, I told him I would love to audition. Can I read lines in the script? He said it would be inappropriate in this restaurant setting. But no, I really wanted to because I felt confident that I could do it well. But no, he didn't ever hold auditions.
And Kristen, did they just come to you and you loved the script, or?
Yeah. I read the script before I met Greg. I'm a much more responsible actor than him. It's a teen movie, and so you would never expect. I would never expect myself to do something like that. But it's so nothing. It's all very, very rooted in very real characters, and it's really clear that Greg owns it. he really loves it. It's his story. And, really sweet guy.
So are you now? You've become massive particularly in the last year as a celebrity. Are you looking for just ways to stretch in scripts? Are you looking for projects where you can work with a director that you connect with a director? Is it a combination? What's the thing for you?
Always something different. Luckily, that's a funny question because it's I've only ever done. I'm used to coming to Sundance, when I was a little kid, and so it's really weird to have sort of a movie that started off the same way as other films that I've done, sort of blow up in my face like that. But it facilitates being able to do things like Adventureland and things that are gonna, that maybe wouldn't get a lot of acclaim or attention, maybe get a little bit more. So.
Is the fame something you want? Is the fame something you want, Jesse? You guys both seem to be finding challenging work almost every time. It doesn't seem like either one of you is kind of doing anything dumb for the sake of doing it.
Oh, just wait.
You're waiting for Michael Bay to call, and
I bought a couch.
He's gonna be in Twilight too.
there you go. Everybody's going to be at Twilight too.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, do you pay attention to all that stuff? I mean, do you even all the hysteria around who's getting cast and whatever happened with Catherine and da 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 da? I mean, is that insanity to you? Do you even know what's happening, or you just kind of close your eyes and pretend it's not there?
She runs a website detailing all of this.
No, I mean in this case I do care. It's like my project. It's I very much care about who's going to be in the film and who's going to direct the film, and so I was always probably more worried than anybody else, and couldn't really understand why everybody else was so concerned. It's like, well, you don't have to do it, but it's a really, you know, the fan base is insanely devoted, and it's good. It's like it's a driving force. It sort of keeps you working hard. So we appreciate that. I'm not trying to like.
What?
Yeah. So I care. It dictates the next couple of months.
And do you like jumping? Do you guys like jumping from smaller parts to bigger parts in these movies? I mean, you took like the part in Into the Wild that was a relatively small part, but significant in the picture. But you know, had a lot of impact, I think, for people.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter to me.
It doesn't really. You're being texted as we speak.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter to me the size of. I mean, it you know, I love being able to come in and sort of work on something for like 2 weeks and have it be like really concentrated and, you know, like isolated, its own little thing. It doesn't matter.
Did you guys get rehearsal time in this picture to really develop the relationship and?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit, maybe like a week or a week and a half or something. But the movie took more time than I expected it would take to film. So we had, I mean, it didn't take more time than they had planned, but you know, we had enough time to like do it comfortably. I think it was like something like 35 days, which is, you know, for a personal movie, that's a lot of time.
A long time.
Yeah. So it felt, you know, like more than enough time to realistically draw out these situations.
And what was the hardest part of it for you guys? Was it how cold it was in October in Pittsburgh, or?
Yeah, it was freezing. The last scene we did, the last day, it was like raining, and in order to make rain show up in movies, they have to make the drops really big and cold, and so and my character's first inexplicably dumb and forgets his umbrella at the end of the movie, which I still don't understand, and.
Well, don't you think that's romantic?
Yeah, it was.
Like, it gives you an excuse to take off your shirt, right?
It's like a really good
at the time. It was at the time.
Get like all the.
That's right. He just needs a.
Right.
He needs a boombox in New York City.
That's why the boombox shorted out because of the rain. The electric heat. Yeah, it was so freezing. That was like maybe 10 degrees or 15 degrees or something in the rain. It was so awful. And then also like we were